Hi, this is Ann again. This is our special Christmas Eminem video. The topic of today's talk is family. This is a really, really hard time of year. I'm a psychotherapist, as you know, of many, many years. And what I will tell you is that the holidays are not a magical time of year for most people. It is a very, very hard time. People see all these images of loving families gathered around a table with tons of gifts and beautiful food, and that is not most people's reality. For many people, it's a very dark and depressing time. So, across different cultures, people have a celebration of light to bring up their spirits, whether it's Hanukkah with the menorah candles, or people put candles around a Christmas tree. Many, many cultures have candles and light to celebrate and bring themselves together and lift their spirits during this dark, dark time of year. I think it's very appropriate as I've been watching Eminem's latest videos, and one of them is entitled, "I Am All Alone in the Darkness." I really responded to that because I feel, Eminem, that even though you're at the pinnacle of your career, you have nothing but fame and family and money galore, you really are all alone in the darkness, and you're scared to go out there and face your public. There's a worry that there may be no one there listening. And what I want to say to you is, it's okay if you don't write a single other word. What you've done so far will be more than enough. Think of To Kill a Mockingbird. That was the only novel that she wrote, To Kill a Mockingbird. That would be enough. What you've done so far is enough. You don't have to go out there over and over again and drink and take pharmaceutical drugs in order to please your public. You have done enough. I really feel that's true. But anyways, back to the subject of family. In my own case, my children have gone off to college. I know your daughter's gone. My dad died last January. My mom is still around, but she really is at the end of her life. So I have a surrogate family, my only child, and I am disabled. I have MS, so a lot of things are really hard for me. But I have a wonderful group of people who are my surrogate family around me, and I'm going to introduce them to you. It's like in The Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy pulls back the curtain and she sees that there's somebody behind the curtain pulling all the levers. I want you to see what's behind my curtain. I want you to see all the amazing, wonderful, wonderful people who are helping me one by one. I want to share that with you. I want to bring you into my family, because I think a lot of people have created surrogate families to get themselves through hard times. So what I would say is, please don't end your life, Eminem. Please don't end your life, any people out in the darkness feeling alone. That's not right. There are people who want to help, who want to be there for you. I'm not going to talk about your latest productions. I have lots of thoughts about them, but I don't think it's something for me to talk about publicly. I'm happy to talk to you privately if you would like. I'm not going to be sitting by the phone. I don't think that you'll be calling. But at any rate, I really want to bring you in and show you my concept of family. Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Daniel Tom,
I'm Dasha Marnett.
and what we're going to talk about is family and the holidays. So I grew up in New York City. I grew up in Spanish Harlem, and when it comes to the holidays can be a very difficult time for a lot of people. For us, it was difficult for me because we always had a hard time coming together. We had busy lives, we had busy careers, so when it came to coming together and just eating food and drinking and coming together, we always had a hard time. So the holidays meant that we can come together during this time and just enjoy everyone's friendship, I'm really bad at the camera sometimes.
Keep going, you're doing a great job.
Okay.
Keep going.
I might have to edit this. Okay. So we would come together and So when it came to coming together, we always had food, and food was one of the things where we came together and we would eat, we would talk, we would chat. Not really good at
Did
the
it matter
camp.
what kind of food you were eating?
We didn't have the conventional Turkey Day, Thanksgiving dinner, or Christmas dinner, but we would have rice and beans. We would have anything that has rice in it, so any rice dishes, rice and chicken, rice and steak, etc. Okay.
Now Josh is gonna
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about how family doesn't just mean the family that you are born with. So a lot of people struggle with relationships within their family. There's oftentimes a lot of, issues with that. Everyone struggles with issues with people in their family because of course you're kind of stuck with the people in your family. But I just want to say the family that you create is just as important as the family that you're born with. And the family that you create through friendships or through other relationships, platonic or romantic, or the family you create through marriage, or the family you just create with your friends. Those are all family and they all matter, and family sticks together through thick and thin. And family really means forgiveness. So even with the family that you were born with, I think a lot of people hold grudges. This is a little reminder to always take a step back, think about the family that you have, and see it from their point of view for just a moment, and also just consider how you can forgive and let go and always, stick with the family that you have, because family is really important.
It's beautiful. Gibson, you wanna know?
I gotta redo my segment again. So I feel so bad.
Woo!
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Under a mesquite tree, out in Agridose, and he just keeps on playing hide and seek with that hot August sun, just a sweating and a panting, because his work is never done. And this old porch is like a steaming greasy plate of enchiladas, with lots of cheese and onions, and a guacamole salad. And you can get on down to the Saw Hotel in old downtown with iced tea and a waitress. And she will smile every time. And this old porch is a palace walk-in on the main street of Texas. It's never seen the day of G's and R's and X's with that 62 poster. Is almost faded out at a screen without a picture since Giant came to town. And this old porch is just a weathered, gray-haired 70 years of Texas is doing all he can not to give in to the city, and he always takes the rent late just so long as I will run the cattle. And he picks me up at dinner time. And then I listen to him rattle, and it says that the Brazos, she still runs muddy, just like she's run all along. There ain't never been no cane to grind, and cotton is all but gone. And you know that this brand new Chevrolet, hell, it was something back in '60. And there ain't nobody to listen to, 'cause they all think he's crazy. And this old porch is just a long time, waiting and forgetting, and remembering coming back, not crying about the leaving, and remembering the falling down, and the laughter of the curse of luck from all of those sons of bitches who said we'd never get back up.
That's Simon and Garfunkel. That's not from medieval times.
They covered a song
they
from
covered
medieval.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, they got it
came
from.
from-
They
yeah.
got it from medieval times. Simon and Garfunkel stole it
Exactly.
from the medievals.
Yeah, it's been a while, around a while.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me, the one who was there. It was like, think of me as the one who lives there. Remember me, the one who was there. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Then she'll be a true love of mine. The guitar's out of tune. I was perfect.
Yay!
Very nice.
Hi, my name is Tatia, and this is the story of how me and Anne met. First, you should know I'm from the country of Georgia, the city of Tbilisi. I'm 29, and I moved to America, to New York, last year in November. The decision to move was influenced with many different things, but first of all, it was family. My brother lives here. So as I moved very quickly, in February, the pandemic happened, and everything that I knew in regards to my career, to my social life, anything really for my rhythm of my daily life changed. And right around the end of March, when my job closed down, I'm a bar manager. I've been working in bars for many, many years now. We closed down. So I had to make some other income, and I decided that I needed to look for a job. I still remember the day I came across Anne's listing. It was on Craigslist. And the description, I wasn't really thinking about personal assistant jobs at that point. I was basically looking for something that I knew in music business, which I've worked in for 10 years, or in the service industry. But I remember reading about her and who she needed, and somehow I wanted to tell her who I was, and I wanted to share my resume with her. And I did. I gave her a small rundown of me, that I was from Georgia, that I just moved here, that I did school and grew up in the UK. And I think in a few days I had a voicemail on my phone, and I was living with my aunt at that time. I had to move in with my aunt because of the pandemic and everything going on. And I couldn't answer the phone. And I wish I still had that message to share with you, whoever's listening to this. The way Anne spoke to me in that voicemail was the most comforting thing probably anyone going through whatever we were going through at that time, and are still going through whatever we needed. I remember speaking with her, and we set a date for an interview. I interviewed with her, and it was her and her boyfriend Chris. And the minute I sat down with her, not knowing really that she was a psychotherapist, she was an amazingly experienced social worker, I didn't know that. So she made me feel like I stepped into a place that was a home, a place that was comfortable, that was safe. And that was not something you came across, or you do come across now at this time. I've been with her ever since, and every day as I learned more and more about her, about what she goes through in her daily life, what she has been through, how many people she takes care of. It's literally unimaginable that somebody that has so much strength and needs so much strength to get through the day. I don't think everyone can. Any woman can raise two kids, but she raised two amazing kids, and she takes care of her patients with such compassion and such wisdom that it makes you feel like you're part of something that is worth something, that is worthy, that has motivation to it. So a group of people that she created at that time, it was like a big international community with her guiding us through the day and us kind of following her lead and learning things along the way. I've learned, it has not been such a long time since I've known Anne, but I've learned what living in New York is like. To me, she's the epitome of New York. She's what New York is about. It's about strength. It's about pushing through the challenges. It's about discovering something new every day, discovering something new in yourself every day to overcome whatever is in front of you. There's a few things that I wanted to say in this video, and it's very hard to talk about who Anne is or what that kind of a connection means to a person in a small video, but there's a few things that I love the most. First of all, to me, literature is the starting point of my interests. That's what I revolve around and what interests me the most. She has an incredible knowledge of and understanding of literature, of the books. And the book, to somebody to whom a book is a holy being, that is amazing to find. That is amazing to find somebody who you respect, who has the ability to understand what the writing is about, how you should guide yourself through the book, what are the lessons you should learn. Second thing I love about Anne and working for her is her strength, how she can basically code her mind to cope with things that I think human beings have struggled with and are struggling with on the daily basis. She can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it doesn't mean that it's not hard. It doesn't mean that it won't be full of tears, but somehow she pulls through, and she's one of the biggest examples of strength around me right now. Third thing is how she can be so, I think the most correct word that I can find is compassionate towards humans. She has this belief in humanity that is so motivating to a millennial like me. We have an immense amount of information at our disposal, But sometimes it is very hard to come up with things that are good, that are essentially things that we should care for. And she can see the things in human beings, in every human being, that are the most important in them. And she makes other people see those things too. I have gained friends through her that I probably wouldn't have ever made unless we were not working together. The fact that Anne decided to hire people during a pandemic and bring them together as helping hands, as people who care for each other in a big city where it's hard to find real friendships, when it's hard to find real relationships, human relationships, when you're all on your own, especially at a time like this when everyone's by themselves, it's really a godsend. But my most favorite thing about her is how she doesn't lose the grip on the current, how she has the interest to discover everything, the music, the trends, what are the young people interested in, or whatever the elderly are. She has the genuine interest, and this interest sparks interest in you. I don't know if I gave you guys the impression or the rundown of what it means working with the person like Anne, but I would like to say that I remember on the day of my interview, her boyfriend and her were sitting down with me, and they told me that the most important thing is finding people who you rely on, finding people who are trustworthy and who are solid. And this word solid is probably one word, if I would have been given a challenge to describe her in one word, would be solid. A solid foundation in her wits, in her education, in her intuition, which is, as a woman, it's inspiring to me. It's inspiring that she has an intuition and she follows her gut through things that you never know what life will lead you to, but she's not afraid to take chances. She's not afraid to go for adventures. And I don't think she will ever break down in front of the concept of time like so many of us do. So many of us decide that it's too late. And I am probably very, very, very lucky that I, at this time of the challenge that we are all facing right now, I came across a gem, a solid gem that would I will definitely advise you guys, whoever is watching the YouTube videos. I'm not a YouTube video person. I've never recorded one, but the reason that she has a channel now, it kind of makes me happy that people will get to see what she has to say, because her perspective is the perspective that is worth listening to, that is worth discussing, and the subjects are immense. So I would say keep on watching, subscribe, and happy journeys with her, because adventures will never stop.